Hello and welcome back to the Honest Lab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Why we do this on a Friday night? Cause Friday night is horror night.
Welcome back, Derry Bound Ted. 2 weeks in a row, chap.
2 weeks, still on my way there. Still haven't made it yet.
I mean, it's a long way from Arklow to Derry, Maine.
Well, it could just be Derry up north. I don't know yet.
No, that's free Derry.
No, they don't call it free Derry, and I'm not calling it what they call it. It's Derry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on my way to Derry. I still haven't made it there yet.
Although it is some car in the picture behind you.
Yeah, it's a nice car. I think it crashed though, so I need to get another one.
Definitely. Definitely had some shit happen inside it.
Yeah.
I mean, episode 1 showed you an awfully graphic childbirth scene.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it a childbirth. It was sort of a childbirth, sort of a bat.
A birthing scene.
Yeah, a bit weird. Yeah,
I mean, that was graphic for a TV show too.
Yeah. They're quick off the mark with that, and episode 2 didn't really disappoint in that aspect either.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I'm going to jump into. What this is my point, and this is Zoe's point as well. So she gave me this. This is the one thing she told me to say before this whole thing. Why has there been 2 episodes with 2 birthing scenes?
Yeah, I don't know. The birthing scene in this was really, really well done, though.
Oh, it looked amazing, didn't it? Now, did you catch the eyes?
Yes.
I think that's the first glimpse we see of Pennywise.
Yeah. Well, so do you remember in the last episode I was saying about the skin mask lamp? And I was like, was it just a nightmare or is it actually Pennywise taunting them? I think this confirms that it is Pennywise taunting them, because this one, she's obviously in her bed and she feels like she's drowning. And then the whole birth scene happens. So that's obviously meant to be her in the womb. Then she gets born. And this explains where her mother is, because we haven't been told before this, but her mother obviously died giving birth.
Yeah.
And it's something she feels guilty about. Do you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't she?
So the skin lamp in the last episode looked phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Or in the episode. So the nods to 80s horror movies that I've seen throughout the 2 episodes of this has been extraordinary. So obviously the waterbed scene really links to Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yeah.
Where Freddy kills thing in the waterbed. I thought that was a nice little touch. There's obviously one that we'll get into later when we meet a certain character in this episode. I don't know whether you've caught it or not. But I'll definitely drop the information a little bit later. But obviously I just wanted to mention before I forgot, because I'll get halfway through the episode and forget about the whole Burton thing that's always told me to say. But what did you think of the opening intro to this episode?
I liked
cartoon drawing.
Yeah, I liked the intro. Like we didn't get the music intro and stuff in the first episode, because obviously we just jumped straight into it. I think it's cool. Yeah, I think this is like, it's a good little intro to it, and it seems to kind of, I feel like it's going to be one of those ones that's a bit different each week. I don't think it's going to be the same.
No, I don't think
images
so.
every week. So it's the sort of thing where you'll be able to watch it and pick things out of it.
What's
each
going
week,
to
like,
happen?
What's gonna happen in this episode and stuff. So that'll be a good, interesting thing to keep an eye out for as well. But
the music was creepy as fuck too.
Yeah, they've done very well to start this series. Like we said, the first episode was kind of a bit, if you didn't really want to watch this, it wouldn't hook you.
We gave the first one a 2.5, right down the middle.
Yeah, like the first one was, if you were interested in it, you'd keep watching. If you weren't, it would be the sort of thing that you could go, this isn't for me, and just leave it. I think the second episode, kind of, if you made it to the second episode, you're going to be hooked in now, because they went just a bit like, again, they did the same thing where they have multiple different stories running at the same time. So the stuff with the army base and then the stuff with the kids, but like the stuff with the kids was just so well done. Like,
I think these kids have definitely, in the 2 episodes we've seen, put themselves on par with the kids that done it chapter 1.
I don't know if they're on par yet. They're doing very well with it. I wouldn't say they're on par yet because we haven't seen everything through, but they're doing a great job with it. Like,
for the 2 episodes we've seen, I would
yeah,
say
no,
they're right up there. There hasn't been a bad performance yet.
no, and I like the so obviously we have the two girls that we met in the first episode that were like friends and trying to be friendly with the popular group, I guess, or at
Oh,
least
the
one
girl
of
with the
them.
glasses.
Yeah, like she wants to be friends with the popular. Like I assume they're meant to be the popular group, those girls.
Yeah. The mean
Um,
girls.
yeah, like I assume that's what it is, and she's still trying to get in with them, and the other girl is like, I really don't care, like just honestly don't care about them at all. Just watch three people get murdered in a cinema. Like genuinely do not care
By a
about.
weird bat baby creature.
Yeah, and I liked that she didn't tell the police that's what she saw. Because this is what we were discussing. We were like, how are they going to get around this? Because is she going to tell the police that's what she saw? And she doesn't. She just tells them that, that the father wasn't there and that that something happened. And I think that's a good way to go about it because it allows that tension to build up between them from quite early on.
Yeah. Well,
Because
how do you, like, she knew exactly where she'd end up as well if she turned around and goes, this weird flying baby bat thing ate 4 people.
yeah, which is why it's good because she's turning around going, I cannot say to them that that's what's happened. Do you know what I mean? Like I cannot turn around to them and say, yeah, this is this like weird bat thing flew out and attacked them and shit like that. They'll send me back to fucking, the
Juniper
loony bin.
Hills.
Yeah, which is just like it's a loony bin, do you know what I mean? So she's
Yeah.
obviously like, I cannot say that. Like I'm sorry, but I can't go and say that. And the other girl
Yeah.
is just like, but they're going to pin this on my dad if you don't. Like if you don't step up and say what you saw, my dad's going to go to prison. Which again, it's two.
He goes,
It's
right.
but it's two different fears. You know, she's afraid of going back to this one place. This girl's afraid. The other girl's afraid of losing her dad because she's already lost her ma. Do you know what I mean? So it's building up fears for Pennywise to be able um to take and take form of and do things like that with. Do you know what I mean?
How good was the nanny in this? Fuck him.
Yeah,
She
just
was gas.
yeah, they've all been very good.
So
I felt the birthing scene it
looked awesome.
didn't stretch on too long. It's just as long as it needed to be, and then the whole thing where she had to like bite through the placenta to stop herself getting dragged into the maw, like the mouth and
Yeah.
stuff that the bed had become. Like that was just really well done.
Yeah, it was weird because obviously then the way the mother or creature or whatever it is moved was very similar to the old lady in part 2.
Yeah,
So that, like, if you hadn't seen the movies, that's where you, or if you have seen the movie, sorry, that's where you'll realize that's who that is now. We now know that it is him messing around with them,
yes,
um, just by the movement. But what gives it away for me there is when the things are closing, like
the
the
eyes.
teeth, the thing, yeah, the dead eyes behind the teeth. You can just see them lighting up, and it's obviously what I reckon is the first sign of Pennywise that we've seen, unless I missed one in the first episode.
Unless
But I
the
don't
thing at
think I did.
unless it was the thing at the military base of him being outside, but I'm still unsure if that was the case or not.
Well,
Um,
I'll put it this way then. This is my first vision of him coming in.
it's the first like definitive one. Like this is definitely his eyes. Yeah, it's definitely that.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah, no, it's a good start to it. Again, we haven't really seen too much of Pennywise, so we've seen what the two girls' fears are, and we get introduced to two new characters as well in this. Well, actually, we get introduced to a couple of new characters, but two of the kid ones. So we obviously get introduced to his son, which I thought would happen at the end of this episode, but they actually bring him in like right
It's
from the beginning.
right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah, and we get the illusion that this kid is a bit like he's different to his dad. Do you know what I mean? Like he's real studious. He's not, you know, he doesn't do. He's not like the wild boy that his dad. Not even wild boy, but you know, like he's what.
He's not as adventurous, yeah.
Not even that he's not an adventurous. You know, the dad's like, oh, what will we do? Like with the telescope, will we look into other people's houses? And the kid's like, I don't think we should do that. And it's just like the
Yeah.
dad's like, right, I'm trying to make a connection with you, and I'm just trying to think like when I was a kid, would I really care about looking at the stars? Do you know what I mean? Like the dad is just struggling because he's like, this isn't how I was
Yeah.
as a kid. Do you know what I mean?
He's
And he,
trying his damnedest to make that fun, jokey kind of.
yeah, and he's trying to connect with his kid, but he just, you know, they're so such different people. And then, obviously, the mother kind of starts a bit of trouble in town where she, to be fair, she goes out and she's like, hey, leave that kid alone. There's four kids are just beating the shit out of some other kid on the street, and everyone else is just like, yeah, that shit happens here. Yeah.
So what I have here in the notes that I had, it's I said it's the first look at the people in town ignoring things that are happening. So just like in the movies, you know, when they're chasing down Ben in the movies and
Yeah.
Mike and nobody's caring. And even to go back to the mini series, nobody cares when anything happens to any of them. Like when Ben in the old ones getting sliced up, the car just drives by. You know what I mean? It's the first look at the town turning the eye to not caring.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's not even a thing of like this is anything to do with anything supernatural. It's just real, well, boys will be boys. Like that's just how they viewed it. Did I mean like that
Yeah,
kid's
but
getting beaten up? Well,
six,
so what?
six of them kicking or four of them kicking lumps out of them.
Yeah, but like even it's not like the rest of them don't even see it happening. They do because she says it to the butcher and he's like, "Oh, we just, you know, that
We don't
stuff
do
just
nothing about that.
that's just boys being boys." Now, part of that makes me wonder is are we going to learn later on that this is a thing where they're just like we leave it happen because, you know, we know something happens every once in a while and we just don't want to get involved and have ourselves be dragged into it.
Potential target, yeah.
We
To
don't know.
me, I think it's the town. Like as I said, like you notice it in the movies. I think there's obviously something underlying in the town where they just don't care.
Yeah, there does seem to be something like that because obviously then in the film, like the actual films and stuff we see, they just do not care when that kid gets his arm broken. The kids
I
walk.
just remember that that's fucking awful. That scene.
One of the kids is just walking around with a switchblade the whole time, and they're just like, "Yeah, that's fine." He's threatening to stab people, and they just genuinely don't care.
But that main guy, you know, the young fella that steps to her,
Yeah,
he's gonna be Henry Bowers' relation, I imagine.
something like that. Yeah, and it is. It's just it's very similar. You know, like there's a lot of things where you're just like, right, they obviously just don't. They just leave these kids to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, it's just that's what happens with these kids. They just beat each other up. And we see a bit of a kind of family issues. Like we kind of see this is partly why they moved to Derry is because the mother was quite vocal about something happening in the previous town they lived in as well. Now we don't know exactly what, but it's probably something similar.
I would say so, yeah. I imagine in the next episode we'll find that out. Um, I would imagine it's to do with someone saying something. I'm gonna go with racist to her or to the son
I
or to
would
the
say
husband.
I would say so. I'd say it's
Um,
something to do with racism, yeah.
um, but that would be my pick idea for for the next one as to why. And she blew her lid, and they had to move more than we
Yeah.
will move.
Yeah. Now the other character we got introduced to, obviously the son, and we see he's a bit kind of he's very studious, he's into studying and stuff, and he doesn't really get the way the other boys in town act, but he makes a friend pretty quickly in the school. Um, because of your man's like, oh, that's a good pencil. Like that
Yeah, it's a good pencil.
that's a
Cedar. What did you say? Cedar wood.
it's a real American thing where they're like, oh yeah, you'd know the type of pencil. Nobody knows what type of pencil is
I know I
something.
had a HB pencil.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have known anything else. They're like, that's just because that's what everyone had. Like, it's such an American thing of like, oh, the nerdy kids know what type of pencil each other use. It's just such a
Oh,
trope, like,
yeah.
which
Good pencil.
yeah, but see, like these tropes are the things that they allow you to build an expectation of a character quite quickly. So we've now kind of got our two nerdy boys, um, and then he gets detention because somebody lets off the stink bomb, and they just kind of assume it's him because he's the one running away. But he's now been in detention with Ronnie. Is it Ronnie?
Fuck
I'm
Ronnie.
I'm really struggling. Like I'm actually so bad at the moment. I still
The names just keep changing. There's just been
so
too many two episodes, and the whole main cast basically changed.
yeah. So the two main girls are Lily and Ronnie. So he's in detention with Ronnie, and he's like, "Oh, I don't deserve to be here," and she's like, "Oh no, I do." Like I cursed in front of the teacher, which to be fair,
It's probably a detentionable offence.
it is, but it's also everyone's sitting there saying her dad's a murderer. She snapped. Do you know what I mean? Like fair
I
enough.
mean, there's only so much you can take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we get the interaction between them, so you kind of that builds the fact that they're going to end up being friendly enough with each other. And then he's made a friend. So I think that's kind of going to be our four. So the two girls,
Yeah.
Lily and Ronnie, and then uh these two new young lads are going to be I don't will they bring a fifth? Maybe, maybe not. But the other big character we got introduced to was Halloran.
Dick.
Yeah,
This was the other character that I mentioned at the start of the episode. Do you know who that is?
no, the actor or
Dick Halloran. Dick. Do you know who Dick Halloran is?
no,
Like, as in the character, like the character in the show. Do you know who that is?
no
So he's the guy from The Shining. So you know
character
the guy,
is
yeah, that's the character from The Shining. Yeah.
is it?
So you know the guy that Danny fucking Shining's with, the Shining.
Yeah,
That's Dick Halloran. Yeah.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I
He
don't,
opens. I think he opens. In The Shining, I think they say he opened a pub in a town called Derry,
fair enough.
and
He
that's the
definitely
link
doesn't.
between the two.
Yeah, see, he definitely doesn't own the pub in Derry because he's working for the government.
No, well now at the minute he doesn't, but in the Shine, I'm pretty sure in the book it says that he opens
Yeah, possibly. I
uh
don't know. I can't say I'm sure of that myself. But we see him come in, and he's got something. Now, is it a gift or an ability to find something? Because they obviously rate him quite highly in the army into their secret mission, and they're like, great. He's obviously good at finding stuff, which is why he gets like these special permissions and gets away with getting absolutely hammered in on like moonshine and stuff, and they're just like, oh, it's
yeah,
fine, just let him back.
the three lads, yeah. And he's like, I have what does he say? He has special privileges.
Yeah, and they're just like, okay, yeah, he does. So we don't know why he has them. It seems to be something to do with being able to locate things. Is that going to be some sort of that he has a sort of power to do it, or what? We
He
haven't
can
really found out.
sense things.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be something to do with him being able to sense things, but that'll probably play out a bit more. Um, he looks like he's going to be a bit of an interesting character because he looks like he's going to be the one that's specifically helping them find Pennywise.
What they look, yeah. So we go back to the first episode, right? And the attack that happens that
Yeah,
we said. So we called it. I said it'd be a test.
yep,
We find out that it was a test to bring him in, right? And this is how he kind of gets introduced along the way to Halloran. And this is where you find out the first time really you hear where he's like, "Oh, we heard about your brain injury in Korea," and for
Yeah,
some
the
reason or
amygdala.
another, he has no fear.
Yeah, so like this is an
Um,
act that well, that's an actual thing. So like if you suffer damage to the amygdala, it can, in severe cases, stop you being able to process fear. It's not that you don't feel it, but you don't process it. So
oh,
it just
I
is.
just thought it was taken. I just thought it was
No, it's a serious, like it's an actual medical condition. It's very rare. And what it actually usually ends up being is people, it's more common that they don't have a fight or flight response. They just they don't understand. Like it's like a kid, they don't understand. Sort of, like don't touch that, it's going to be hot, and the kid's just like, what? No, and just touches it, and it's like their brain doesn't process that this is
no.
going to hurt, and it's weird. There's different forms of it. That's like kind of the standard thing, but it is an actual thing that if you have a damaged amygdala, you can lose your ability to feel fear, which we referenced it in the first episode that one of the kids says, "Oh, my dad was in the military and he was a pilot," and we questioned it last episode. We were like, but like, if he knows, if he's met Pennywise and stuff, if the dad's met Pennywise, why did he stay in the town? Why did, like, if he, when he had a kid, was he not like, let me get out of here? Like, I am not dealing with this. Do you know what I mean? Or he says his granddad, sorry, was in the thing, but this might be the answer because he doesn't feel fear. So can he see Pennywise?
Probably not. They can't do anything to him. But then again, right? Is this the same thing you see in the movies? They say it where the town forgets. They remember that kids get killed, but they
Yeah.
don't remember what it is. Now, for some reason or another, Ray Hanlon um, remembers, or sorry, Mike Hanlon remembers because he never
Well,
leaves the town.
he never leaves it, but he keeps a detailed journal, which is how he remembers.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Because like, even at the end of the miniseries, he starts to forget.
yeah,
You can hear him saying he's like, "It's all a fog."
yeah. But I wonder, is this why his dad, or well, his granddad, I suppose,
Yeah,
never remembers it because he never actually
he
meets
didn't.
Pennywise? Now, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think there is going to be a thing of the Pennywise finds something he fears. Um,
I mean, I'm gonna say it's losing his family.
yeah, but I don't know because if he can't process fear, can Pennywise do anything to him?
Probably not. He could torment them, but it's not going to make a difference. Like if he can't process fear, he's not technically afraid of anything.
Yeah, so if he has no fear, what does Pennywise do? Because Pennywise tortures you with your fears. So
Yeah,
what can you do? Like if you have
yeah.
nothing to torture him with, what do you do? Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting thing that they've set that up. Now they seem to have gotten rid of his army buddy already that helped him when the fight
Yeah.
happened.
When he got back,
Yeah, so I don't know, is he just going to kind of be a character that pops in and out here and there? Because they seem to be quite good friends.
yeah, because
So
they come up together.
yeah, so you would assume he's going to still be around, but
I would think he's going to become a side character now because he's been invited into the base. Where
yeah,
I think that's going to drive the wedge, and he's going to get pissed off, and that's where he's going to use it. He'll use that confrontation to torment the friend.
yeah, possibly, or the friend will be brought in onto the thing and end up dying
Dead.
because of something that he fears. Yeah, um,
Yeah.
it'll be an interesting way to go about it because obviously Pennywise works off fear, so now we're going to have a character that has no ability to feel fear. So it's going to be an interesting way of how do they work this. But their plan is obviously to capture Pennywise to be able to use him as a weapon of some sort. Now, from what we can tell, that isn't going to happen here. Um, but we do see that Halloran has some sort of ability to locate things because the last thing we see is the car getting pulled out of the mud or
Um,
the ditch or whatever it
yeah.
is. And we can just presume it's the car from the original episode because it's got a load of skeletons in it.
I don't think so. So this goes back to the original movie, right? I don't know whether you remember the original one when the lads are all in the room and they're talking about the bank robbers.
Yeah.
The gang that were robbing banks from Pennsylvania to Philadelphia end up in Derry and went missing. I'd say it's going to be them because there's a suitcase and a gun in that car.
Yeah, but that family had a load of suitcases in their car as well. So
Yeah.
it could be either way, but that's where they're leaving us. And one of the bodies looks quite small, which is why I think it's the family, because one of the bodies looked like a child's body.
But that
So
wouldn't have been, they wouldn't have been skeletons by then. Do you know what I mean? That had only happened.
well, it happened 4 months ago, yeah. So they shouldn't have been
Or
they shouldn't be skeletons, but then at the same time, you know, we also had this weird bat baby thing that, was
was
in the
eating
car.
people.
Yeah, so like did he just eat all the flesh off their body? Do you know what I mean? Like we don't know yet. Which is kind of what's interesting about it. But yeah, they could go a different way with it. I think this is going to end up being the family, and this is where we see this is what Halloran can sense and stuff. And
Mm.
this is going to be how they eventually find their way to finding Pennywise. Now, I don't know what they do because they want to try and control him, but we know that he only works like his power is only located in Derry. So do they find that out or do they just forget about it because that's what happens in the town?
I don't know because obviously they're looking to get it. Maybe they're trying to exploit it in a way that they think they can just release it in say a bomb and it'll.
Yeah, that they clearly want to weaponize it. Yeah.
And I do think that's the right way to go about this show. I think trying to find them, use them. Like obviously, the American army are known for doing it. Other armies are known for doing it. They
Oh,
weaponize whatever they can find.
yeah. Whatever weapon can give you an advantage in a war, yeah, you're going to go for it. Do you know what
I
I mean?
mean,
So
like animals have been used.
yeah, yeah. So
Drones are now being used. So like, any advantage you can get, you'll take.
oh yeah, no, I completely understand why they're trying to find him. I just don't like. Obviously, they don't know, and we do as fans. But like, it won't be successful one way or the other because his power is specifically located in
Yeah,
Derry. So presumably that's going to be the storyline for the kind of adult characters in this series. And then we haven't really gotten anywhere. Like, so we know that Lily has been brought back to, she was tricked into saying she couldn't be certain that the dad wasn't there. So the dad's now been arrested. Ronnie's dad's now been arrested. Um, and she has been brought back to
Juniper
the
Hill.
Juniper Hills, which is an insane asylum, or like now it'd
Yeah,
probably be called a
it's a
mental
mental
health clinic, but like that's not what it would have been called back then. Do you know what I mean? So she's been brought back there, and I would imagine now that she's back there in the next episode, we're going to see a big fear thing for her.
Yep,
Like
Pennywise will start to ramp it up.
uh, I think each episode will probably have a different character getting the big kind of fear thing. So
Mm.
the first episode, the obviously it's the baby coming out and in the car and then attacking everyone in the cinema. This
That
episode,
was hilarious.
then this episode is the whole bed scene, like the birthing bed scene. So I
Yeah.
think that Lily might be the next one to get one, which will be
In the
when she's in Juniper Hill, and then we'll start seeing the young lads starting to get something tormented of them. But we'll have to see what that ends up being because we don't know what their fears are yet. Like they're obviously afraid of bullies, but I feel like there's going to be more to that. And I think, hmm, I think Hanlon's son is because he's like a really like studious child and really into reading books and stuff. I think he's going to find something about kids going missing 20 odd years ago. and he's going to go looking for the cause of it. That's what I think is going to happen with him.
So I think you're right with that, and I think over the next, I don't know, I think it's 8 episodes that are left in this season, you're gonna see him start to develop the book that Mike has in the films. You know, the ones he brings out.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's more prevalent in the original miniseries,
yeah,
but that's where the book will start to develop now, and that's how Pennywise is going to get to him.
yeah. And I think he's going to go looking to see what's causing this because
He needs to
he's
know.
well, one, he needs to know, and then I think two, there's going to be this whole thing of his first interaction with Ronnie. He seems to be sort of trying to impress her with how much he knows. So I feel she'll go back to him saying, you know, this happened to me. I need to free my dad. Like, is there anything you can do? And then he'll kind of run with that and he'll start looking into it. And then obviously his dad's going to bring home presumably something from work. Do you know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
he'll then
Yeah.
steal from the office, like from his dad's office or whatever, and stuff like that. And then it'll go from there. That's where I feel it's going to go. But with the way the first two episodes have gone, honestly, it could go anywhere.
Right. Before we finish up, we'll do what we done the last time. What are you suspecting from episode 3?
Well, I kind of just went through that. I think
Pretty much
Hanlon's,
what you said.
yeah, I think Hanlon's going to start looking into the child Hanlon's going to start looking into things, and then I think the big kind of scare scene is going to be Lily's this time. I think she's going to get the big scare scene.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3 kind of style.
No, I don't know what way they'll go because they've kind of done Nightmare on Elm Street. Her fear is being in the mental asylum, so
The walls will come in on top of her or something.
yeah, walls closing in, or when she tries to leave, the doors just keep opening into the same room over and over, and then eventually open to a brick wall or something like that.
Okay. It's going to be an interesting third episode. What was your take on episode 2 then, out of 5?
Yeah, I'd probably go 3.5 here. Like it's still ramping up. So there's still a lot of like story building going on here. We haven't really got into the
Yeah,
entire show.
it's not one that you can just sit and turn on. This one you have to pay attention to. There's a lot happening very quickly.
Yeah.
From
I suppose like you could argue, yeah, you could go up to a 4, but I feel like some of the other episodes are going to be overall stronger. So I don't want to go
yeah.
too hard at the start, being like, oh, this was one of the best episodes in the series. Do you know what I mean?
So for me, I actually give it a 2. I wasn't sold on this episode. I said to you a thing. I wasn't mad on it. There was some really cool bits. Obviously, the Burton scene was phenomenal. The waterbed scene was brilliant. Sorry,
Yeah.
the waterbed scene was at number 1, but no, sorry, the waterbed scene was in this one. Yeah, that led to the Burton
Yeah.
scene. The heartstring bit in this episode was obviously the dad getting arrested, and I think the young girl played that fantastically.
She did, yeah. And see, this is kind of why I have it as a bit higher. You have it ranked a bit lower. I have it a bit higher because they're starting to build the plot. We've seen a bit of the two, like Ronnie and Lily have a bit of a falling out because they're both scared of different things happening, and in the end, both of the things they're scared of actually end up happening to them.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of new characters brought in to progress the story elsewhere, which is why I wouldn't go too high on it. But I think overall it's progressing the story. And I liked a few of the new bits that they've brought into it, which is why I'd rate it a little bit higher than the original, like the first episode.
Fair. I can't say. Obviously, everyone's different with their own view on episodes of TV shows. And we've seen that, and like obviously our group, there's a lot of Buffy fans and stuff. Like some of them have the singing episode, and some don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every episode's gonna be different. This one for me though, it just didn't hold nearly as high for me as the other one did. Obviously, the other one I gave 2.5, which actually isn't much higher. But I'd much rather watch the first one again than watch this one again. Although how could the Burton scene was extremely cool to see. I think they moved the story along quite well, but it just didn't grasp me as much. This one didn't.
Yeah, and I get that this is kind of one of the filler episodes, I think, but
Yeah,
you're always going to
I
have
mean,
them.
it wasn't bad though.
No, and in terms of a filler episode, you still got a lot of stuff. Like usually filler episodes don't have anything in them. It's just, story progression. This has a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah,
That,
there's a lot of information in it.
yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I think originally I'd said, I think this is a 10 episode series, and I'd said I thought Pennywise might show up at around episode 6.
Yeah, you did,
Um,
yeah.
so obviously we've kind of seen his eyes. I still think it'll be a bit late. I still think 6 is probably about right, because I think we're going
Yeah,
to see one episode of Fear for each of those 4 kids. So we've seen it for one of them. So to me, we still have 3 episodes of the kids seeing Fear, and then maybe Halloran will have one.
there's 9 episodes.
9. Yeah, so I think.
So so this episode releases Friday. That will put us a third of the way through.
So yeah, I think we have another 3 episodes for the kids. So this episode and then 2 more. So that'll bring us up to episode 5. And then I think Halloran's one will be when they finally find Pennywise. And that's the first we'll see of him. And it'll be right at the end of episode 6 we'll see him. And then 7, 8, and 9 is when we'll really see him doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up here to get the actual confirmation that it is the same character. It seems to be. And Dick Halloran, his abilities are being used to harp Pennywise evil fear, including powers as use of a weapon. So it seems to be
It
the
could
same
be,
character.
yeah.
Like, there's no way you're doing a Stephen King story, right, and using the same character's name, making him a black guy with powers, and not be the same character.
No, it's probably unlikely, but it could just be a nice little Easter egg as well. Like it might not actually be the same character, but they just wanted to give this,
The nod.
yeah, give that little bit of a nod to it. But sure, we'll have that next episode soon. So
episode 3 won't be far away, and yeah, I'm well aware that we're doing it an episode behind. I want to give people the chance to actually watch the episode before watching this, because there's no point in me and Ted sitting here on a Friday evening dropping episode 3 an hour after it comes out and no one's seen it. So
yeah,
we don't want to spoil it, so that's why it's coming out a week after. But as usual, we will be back next Friday with episode 3. We hope you're enjoying the show. As I said, we are. I know I scored this one a 2, but I still thoroughly enjoyed the episode. Do you know what I mean? And I'm stoked to see where it goes. Also, if you haven't done it, Google "Welcome to Derry" on your phone.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen what it does.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool trick from Google.
Yeah,
so if you
they
haven't
have a
done
lot
it,
of them.
the Pokemon one's very good as well.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of them, but yeah, they're funny for a little bit, and then it's just like, right, I've had enough of that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a nice little trick. If you haven't, just go on and Google it. But as of right now, when this episode comes out Friday, if you're around Dublin Horror Con, myself and Ted will be there. If you want to drop around and find us, we'll be at the podcast table. Feel free to stop over and say hello and let us know what you thought of the episode. There'll be a few little trick questions on the board to find out on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, Ted, I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
As I said, come find us on Saturday and Sunday at Dublin HorrorCon. And if you're watching this after the HorrorCon's over, please don't try and go and find us at Dublin HorrorCon.
Well, you can try, but it'd be tough.
You mightn't get in. But what I'll do is, folks, I'll leave this the way I leave every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.
Look.